When is redemption coming? When the body of the Jewish people, the full body of the Jewish people, that is 600,000 general souls that are further subdivided into another 600,000 each one, potentially at least, into further souls, which means imagine a tree with 600,000 branches. It's all of the same tree, different branches, because each branch has a unique divine mission that it needs to fulfill. We need to fulfill the 613 commandments in general, but each branch has its unique emphasis. Its unique emphasis. And when each bud on the branch fulfills what it needs to fulfill, that's where we're going with this, which in the middle of a thought. What do we need to fulfill? Well, we need to make sure that the vitality that we get is not coming from an unholy place. So that's what prohibitions are. And that the good that we do is connecting with Hashem, that's bringing the divine light of God into us, into our being, and elevating us in everything that we use for the mitzvah, as we explained previously. So what comes out is like this. There's 3 levels of vitality. God's holiness, klipas noiga, that gets its vitality from the holiness of God, which klipas noiga means, well, klipa means a shell, noiga means it's translucent. In other words, there's some kind of transparency there. Holiness means complete transparency. Holiness means completely connected to your source, that you're transparent, that you are just a reflection of the divine. That's what you are. Period. Klipas Neiga is a little, it's covering over on that reality, but there's a little transparency to it. That's the good in it. That's the capacity of the food, the kosher food, for example, that we can elevate when we use it towards a higher end, right, as we spoke. And then there's Shalosh Klipas Atmeis, 3 completely impure forms of vitality. They cannot be elevated. That's something that is, again, you have a negative thought of your spouse, of your children, and you cogitate willfully that thought. That's totally not allowed. It's a negative thought. Push it away with 2 hands. I'm talking about a negative thought. If it's something about the negativity of another person, but it's constructive to help them, so you're thinking it through so you can help them in their journey. It's a different story. I'm talking about he did it again. Look at right. Your thought in your mind, right? Or lashon hara, saying ill with your mouth, or action of eating something that's not kosher. So all of them are getting your vitality at that moment from 3 completely impure klipas that have no ability to ascend. So those are the prohibitions, right? And that's analogous to the blood, right? The blood that gives us vitality to the body, that if the blood is unclean, so then it's not giving good, healthy vitality to us, right? So that's the metaphor, the 365 sinews of blood that make the flow of blood go unrestricted in a healthy manner in our body. It's the metaphor to the 365 prohibitions in the Torah. And then we have the positive things that we can do, right? That they themselves are an embodiment of the divine. And when we do it, we become a conduit, a chariot, a reflection of divinity itself. We become bound to it. We become that reality. So am I doing a mitzvah because I got to get a reward? Am I doing a mitzvah because I want to feel good? Am I doing even the mitzvah so I should connect with God? Or perhaps I'm doing the mitzvah because it's the true reality of me. It's who and what I am. I'm a reflection of the mitzvah, of the will of God. So when I'm doing the mitzvah, I'm just reflecting what I really am. I'm not becoming something. I am it. I am it. With this, it's a different way to look at things. So there was, by dollars, a young man, I think he was from France, if I remember correctly. Perhaps not, but that's irrelevant. Went by the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said, "What are you doing for mitzvah tefillin? What are you doing to help another Jew put on tefillin?" The Rebbe asked him. So he says, "Rebbe, honestly, I don't always put on tefillin myself." So the Rebbe said, "Why should another Jew lose out just because you don't put on tefillin necessarily every day?" What a response. So I want to take this apart, and this is my take on it, right? The fact that you don't put on tefillin every day, does that mean that you are not tefillin? You're not a reflection of that divine will of God? Of course you are. You're a reflection of it. It's you. That's why the metaphor of 248 limbs of the body are 248 positive commandments of the Torah. Because your limbs, each mitzvah, gives a unique vitality. It gives a unique vitality to the entire body of the person, but a unique vitality to the particular limb that it relates to. So, in a deeper level, your very being is the mitzvah. You're the tefillin. You don't put on tefillin every day? Does that take away from the reality that that's you? No, not at all. It's you. Oh, now that it's you, so what are you doing here anyways? What are you doing here? You're here to share you with others. So go put on tefillin with another Jew. That's what the Rebbe is saying to him. What are you here for? You're here to share yourself. So who's you? Tefillin. You don't put them on every day. Doesn't take away from the fact that that's you. So why should someone else lose out? That's my take on it. Whether others might not look at it that way, but my take on it. So the Jew is the mitzvah. And now the question is, are you going to share yourself with the world? Who is you to share? The Jew, the mitzvah. So there's 365 prohibitions, things that we stay away, right? And 248 positive things that we do. And when I am that, not just am that, and therefore, since I am that, I live what I am. I live what I am. What does that mean? I'm it. That's it. It's my reality. It's who and what I am. So, of course, I'm going to share with others. So when we do that in a collective way, what's going to happen? Every soul is going to fulfill what they need to fulfill. And this is our divine service. This is our actions that we have to take to fulfill for ourselves and collectively for the Jewish people. And when we do that collectively for the Jewish people, Of course, that will incorporate, as we spoke at the end of chapter 36, if you recall, the nations of the world, that they too will be incorporated in the redemption of, through Mashiach and be part of that world. And of course, their part is in the fulfillment of the seven Noahide laws to bring peace and tranquility into this world. That's the story, folks. Powerful. All right, I have a few moments for some questions. Just a brief. John. If one Jewish soul has not yet a particular mitzvah due to the physical or mental disability, can another Jewish soul do the mitzvah and is considered part of the cumulative mitzvah? So, yeah, thank you, John. So with this, we can understand the concept of reincarnation, by the way, because if you didn't fulfill, the soul needs to come back. We are souls that have been here before. We're all old souls. You know who wasn't an old soul? Our teacher, the Alter Rebbe. He was a new soul that had never come into this world previously. Like a whole new branch that never came into this world. We're connected to that branch, right, called Chabad teachings through the Alter Rebbe. It's a whole new soul. We know that from the Baal Shem Tov. That's how we know this, which won't go into today. But the rest of us, we're old souls. We've been here. So the fact that today maybe we're not, if I'm not fulfilling or someone's not fulfilling all of the mitzvahs that need the 613, well, it could be that we've already done 612 of them, and there's one mitzvah that we are in particular of need to fulfill. How do we know what's that mitzvah that we need to particularly fulfill in its utmost? Well, there'll be two possible ways for us to know. One is that thing that is very special to us, that we're very inclined and have a greater passion towards. That'll be one area. And the other area will be the exact opposite. The thing I'm running away from. The thing that I don't want to face. Right? That mitzvah that I'm really struggling with. That will be also an indication of where I need to work on. So the struggle will be struggle and recognize that this is meant for you and you got to work on it and of course overcome. And the area that I have an aptitude and a passion for, it of course it means to bringing it to an upgraded level, not just a passive autopilot level, but to bring it to the greatest possible engagement. Thank you, John, for the question. Okay. Lori has a question. Where is Lori's question? Yeah, if I lost it in the feed. Sorry. Lori, if you can restate it here. Was the Alter Rebbe the only one that was a new soul? It's the only one that I'm aware of because we were told by the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov has a birthday the same as the Alter Rebbe. And on the day that he was born, he said that a new soul just entered into this world. That has never been here before, and it's going to be a light that will change the world and bring redemption. So, we know that because the Baal Shem Tov tells us. Um, DNA does not show that you're Jewish, by the way. It's not a proof you're Jewish. You have to come from a Jewish mother or convert according to Jewish law, to halacha. Studying Judaism doesn't make you Jewish. Okay. Thank you, John. Lord, okay. I read I read mitzvah are a gift from Hashem that allows us to connect with the Almighty. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Mitzvah is a connection to God Himself. Absolutely. Okay, on Instagram, any questions? Question mark before so I could clearly see that it's a question, otherwise it's difficult. Okay. Michael, please share.
And Esther wanted to beat Haman because Haman wanted to murder all Jews and put a decree therefore out. She outsmarted him. She played for his that he shows his arrogance before the king, and then he let the galleon build. Is it should we have to destroy pure evil and Amalek? Is it better to that we try that evil exposes themselves, or should we speak openly against it? Because she let Haman expose himself.
Right.
What is
Very good question. So, the Rebbe's way is to emphasize the positive. Sometimes we have to speak out against evil, that's true. But generally speaking, is to bring more light into this world. That's the Rebbe's way. It's in particular dealing with people. In particular dealing with people. Um, Emphasizing the positive rather than the negative. If it's dealing with a situation or organization, institution, or whatever, then that might be different. But dealing with people would be in the positive, and like Esther, allowing evil to expose itself. But the truth is, that was back then. Today we want that evil should be transformed. So ultimately, what we want is, yeah, in the moment, the evil should be destroyed, but the the best scenario is that the evildoer should be transformed. And sometimes you got to shoot before that happens to dismiss the evil, or to get rid of the evil, so it should not harm others. If it's in war, for example. But that's not our lives. That's not how we lead our lives. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Okay, so Rick has a question over here. Can I recommend any biographies of Rabbi Zalman? Yes. Um, it's from Kahos or Kahot, kahot.org, KEHOT.org. Can look over there online and just put in biography of Rabbi Zalman of Liadi, or something like that, Shner Zalman, and see what comes up. I don't have the link here. Okay. Um, so we have on Instagram, hold on. Bella, if you are a recipient of a mitzvah, is it also like you did part of the mitzvah? What does it mean to be a recipient of the mitzvah? If you are poor, right, and you ask someone for charity, right, so there's no mitzvah to ask for charity, not one of the 613 commandments. I mean, something if you need to, be put in that unfortunate and difficult situation, then fine. I should say unfortunate, but difficult situation because it's not pleasant. Um, so being a recipient of charity, well, in a way, you're part of the mitzvah because you allow charity to be done. Um, you allow charity to be done, but I don't know if that means you're really a part of the mitzvah. So if you're a sick person and there's a mitzvah to go visit the sick, are you now the sick person part of that? You're enabling. But if you help a Jew put on tefillin, that's a different story. If you help it, if you help somebody to give charity, in other words, you inspire someone to give charity, right? Or inspire someone to do a mitzvah, yes, then you have a part of that mitzvah, absolutely. Can a non-Jew loan a Jew his tefillin to daven? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Now, whether the non-Jew should put on tefillin, that's a different story. But yeah, no problem with that. All right, amazing. I miss anything here? Yeah, so kahat.org is, thank you, Davida, she put it up. Exposing the evil in people is okay. Um, so as I think I responded to that. Not necessarily. Nope, not necessarily. Maybe. Again, the Rebbe's way was not to expose as a generality. Obviously, there's exceptions to every general rule, but as a generality, no. He was emphasizing the positive, the good that a person can engage in. And hopefully, by doing good, what will happen is the negative behavior will dissipate and finally, you know, be good riddance too. So that's generally how they would deal with things.
Is this also true for pure evil? Because there's a difference in people who do bad things and pure evil people.
Again, it depends what like going to speak about Hitler, Stalin, and and speak about the like that's pure evil. That's pure evil, and whatever today we'll get into um, that pure evil. So you're going to denounce it. I'm not exactly clear what we have from that and what that means. Yes, Batya.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to say, because of Purim, but even outside of Purim, the Lubavitcher Rebbe had something that was asked to him, once, about what we could learn from wearing costumes on Purim, and he gave an answer. And his answer, this is like in regards to seeing people, maybe you see them doing something or that could be considered evil or not good, what have you. So what he had to say was, on Purim, you see people dressed off in different costumes, as a clown, as an animal, and one you don't even know what he's wearing. Do we get angry or upset with them? No, because we know it's just a costume. So in life, we meet many people. One is impatient, one may be angry, one may be apathetic, but this is not who they really are. This is just a costume. Deep in their heart, they are really warm Jews, full of purity and beauty. And we just need to interact with them with kindness and tenderness and take off the costume and reveal the pure neshama, their
Oh,
pure soul
beautiful.
inside each one.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you,
This is
Batya.
true Ahavat Israel. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. That was beautiful. Very good. Yeah, so, um, that's, as as a generality, absolutely the way. And again, the Hitlers and the Stalins, that's not our world. And finished. When they're in our world, so then pray for their demise. Vicky, so practicing the Jewish religion without converting is wrong. So I don't know if it's practicing the Jewish religion. Now you need to practice the seven Noahide laws that are universal laws for all of the nations of the world. That's what needs to be done. But to practice Judaism, if you're not Jewish, doesn't make sense, right? Um, in other words, to practice, to make a sukkah and to have lulav and esrog doesn't make sense. To you know, put on tefillin doesn't make sense. Give charity, yes. Visiting the sick, yes. The belief of one God and the unity of God, and you know, um, the laws of murder and theft and courts of justice and all the things and there are many things that come along with that. Now, can someone who isn't Jewish read from Psalms? For sure, right? But because that's something that you can read prayers, absolutely. So but as a general rule, to say practicing Judaism, that would not, is not. You should be practicing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we got everybody. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Um, we will continue our conversation, of course, as we do. Baruch Hashem. Wishing everybody a wonderful day. Good Ner Shabbos, a good Shabbos. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich in Yadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing Shabbos. Be well.